Welcome to Computer Directions Northwest and the Excel Mentor. This next video will briefly discuss the ribbon itself. Now, a more detailed discussion of the ribbon is included with your monthly subscription at any level. The ribbon replaced the old menu system with a new and more efficient look. The tabs, well, their different command sets are in the tabs. The groups, well, they take the groups of related commands and they place them together. The command buttons execute the actual command within the group. Add-ins, well, we're not going to cover those here. They will cover in a completely different lesson. So we will review the ribbon and each group next, and we will also show some of those functions. Well, we now have an actual view of the ribbon. These are the tabs, and I'm going to highlight the Home tab here. Groups, now the font group is highlighted here. We have the command button within the group, so Emerge and Center is highlighted for this. So as you can see, we have a tab done by groups, a command button within the group. Let's see some of this in use next. So we've talked quite about the ribbon. This is our menu system. First, it consists of tabs. This is where your commands are grouped together. So we have our Home tab, Insert tab. We have our Page Layout tab. We have our Formulas tab. We have our Data tab. We've got this. Get rid of that little reminder. We can review. We can view. We have add-ins. And then we've got another interface. I personally prefer hitting F1. That will lift your help menu coming in. And that will come right here to give you your help menu if you hit F1. Okay? So let's go back home. This is where you're going to spend most of your time, and let's start there. Within our tabs, we have our ribbon groups and our command buttons. So this is a ribbon group for the clipboard with its command buttons: copy, cut, paste, pull down menus for different paste options. You can also come here and expand the window for more commands. I'm not going to open this window. We also have our fonts. Again, I set them up in here. Increasing our font, decreasing our font, font color, backfill, whether we underline, italic, or bold. We have borders, and you can come down here and start to see that now the menus become familiar. So we've just added a layer or changed the layer to make this easier to work with. And you can get into borders and all that right in here, our numbers and alignment and formatting there. So let's cancel this. We then have our alignment. Merge and Center is a great tool where you can go across a number of cells and combine them. It's great for titling. You can wrap text within a cell, expand the cell. You can change the direction of your text, and that will be done here. You can put it to the bottom, the middle, or the top of the cell. Default's bottom. And then you can do middle alignment, align center, align right, and justify if you need to. This will in and out dent. And again, more numbers here. So we'll go into detail when we do our examples of how these ribbons work and the buttons work. We have our number. General number formatting here, whether you want to do it as a dollar. Let's do something here. Let's enter $1,000. 1,000, 1, 2, 3. I've got 1,000 here. And I want to copy that down to a few other cells. Let's do that right here. I've got 1,000. So let's go ahead. That's just the standard number. I'm going to go down one, and I'm going to do it as a percent. I'm going to do it as another and do it with our comma. Add a couple decimal points. I can now remove decimal points or add decimal points here. Notice it added a comma. What you'll also notice is it added some space here. Let's get rid of those decimals and see that it's not touching the edge of the cell. It's very nice for display purposes, and we'll show you how to format that in a general number. You have a currency command. You can do that right here. So you can see what we do with our numbers. Define the decimal place as your currency. Let's cancel this. And let's go into another currency. Let's look at a different currency here. We've got general. Let's go to currency. Okay, we've got that. Let's do, you can also come down here and get your different dates and times. What would happen if we did a date on here? Let's have some fun, and we'll just format that cell as a date. We'll put it whatever the date would be, that format. So 1902, that's something else we'll go over, is how the date works in Excel. And then we have, not going to go into conditional formatting right now. We just want to give you an idea of how to get in to do some of these numbers and what the symbols are. For example, if I wanted to do euro, let's do a euro there. Okay, so there's 1,000 euros. So that just gives you an idea of what we do. We want to undo all this. Let's get used to working with our buttons right now. Need to know that we have to save our file because it says Excel here. So we'll come up here to the quick access toolbar and save it. Back to our default. I can also press the command Control Home, and that will get me back to cell A1. Little navigation there. Let's get back into our styles. Not going to do a lot here in the general class for conditional formatting or tables. Don't want to get into this for cell styles. That's going to come into the more intermediate and advanced programs. We could come right here and we can insert a cell right there. Even though we don't have text, you could see that. I can undo my insert cells. I can format the cells again, the height, the width. So a lot of great stuff here in this one. Auto summing we'll do in another class, but let's give you an idea of how that works. I could put in 34, and I could put in 45, and I could put in 128. And let's just put in 9 for fun. I can come down here. I can auto sum, and it automatically selects the range. If you notice the command, we have the equal command to start a formula. We're going to sum the range of cells. And we'll go into this in our first group of classes here. But that's just how auto sum would work, and there's your total. Then I could briefly format this. Maybe say I'm doing an accounting. I'll do a double underline. Get my total in bold. And let's make it dollars. And all of a sudden I've got a very nice formatted using the ribbon and these toolbars. Just gives you an idea of what we can do here. Again, getting used to this. Let's use a Control Z command. I'm going to Control Z to undo. And I'm just pressing the control, holding down the control command and pressing Z to undo what I need. Then I'll press Control Home. Just an idea of the shortcuts you can use. We also have editing. We'll get into that at another time. Sort and filter, we'll do it another time. And find and select, we'll do another time. But that's just what you've got here. And again, this is just the Home tab. We have the insert, and this is how it works. Same thing. You've got the same options available to you for charts. Okay. No chart defined. Page layout, mostly for printing. You get an idea. You can set your print area here. We covered that briefly with the command. You can clear the print area. Apply a background. Printing titles. I can print a title here. Okay. Just set all of this up. We'll get into that in the printing lesson. Formulas. This is great. You've got auto sum we went through really quickly, but we can do average, count numbers. More functions are available to you. We'll go into that in our intermediate and advanced classes. For our financial types, that's all in here. And we'll go over the different types for like payments. I like this one, amortization schedules you can get into. We can get into text. Date and time, that's a beast all on its own. Look up and reference. The next one we have is data. Again, this is intermediate and advanced. Sorting, filtering from our table data. Text to columns, we'll use this in the sample barcode project because we're going to take a lot of text and convert those to individual cells for our math. We're going to review our famous ABC check. Love our thesaurus. Look a lot up here again. These are more advanced, but we're telling you what's available to you. View, you can zoom in, you can zoom out. Freeze panes, you're going to get to know this one quite well. We'll also get into split screens as well, switching windows between spreadsheets. Macros, that's going to come in more to our advanced lessons, but we'll show you how that works. That's all available in the Review tab.